All right, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Wow Wednesday. I am your host, Nancy Matthews. So delighted to have you with us today for this midweek boost of motivation, education, and inspiration. And today, our guest is Barbara Johnson, known as the Heart-Centered Accountant. And we're going to talk today about how to get into financial health, both for your business and for your personal life. I'll bring her on in just a moment and want to give you updates, what's happening in the wonderful world of Women's Prosperity Network. And the first thing I want to remind you all is this Saturday is our mastermind. So we do a monthly mastermind. It's on Saturday from 12 to 1:30 Eastern. And we're going to be talking today about how to get into your greatness zone, which is outside of your comfort zone. So if you want to step into that next level of greatness, be sure you join us this Wednesday and this Saturday, I'm sorry. And as a matter of fact, right before we get into the content, Barbara, I asked you as we were getting ready for the show, how did you hear about Women's Prosperity Network? And share with our audience how that happened for you.
Well, I was just finishing up a class on how to take my practice virtual because it was shut down during the pandemic. And my mentor had said, you need to find a mastermind to get into because basically, here's the thing. We'll teach you all you need to know about virtual and stuff like that. But in order to grow your business, you need that mastermind. You need somebody because you're just a single person. And so I got on the internet and I'm searching women's mastermind and WPN was at the top. And I went, oh, let's try that one out.
Let's try that one out. And I love that. Great mentor, by the way, because masterminding, being in community is one of the best ways to grow, let more people know about you. So we're so glad that you're here because you have brought so much value to our community. And I'm excited to share you with everyone today as well. If you're listening in and you're not yet a member of Women's Prosperity Network, or you've never tried out one of our masterminds, be sure to go to our website, womensprosperityNetwork.com, and find the next event. Join us and connect with amazing women to grow yourself and to grow your business. So now let's dive into this conversation about financial health. And I think the timing for our conversation is perfect. People are starting to think about getting their taxes done. People who are 1099s or W-2s, that's all coming in. And you're like, okay, am I going to have to pay taxes? Am I going to have to do I get taxes back? So this is a great time for us to get into financial health, both for our businesses as well as our lives. And our guest today is an expert in this, and she does it in such a beautiful way. She's known as the Heart-Centered Accountant. Barbara Johnson is the Heart-Centered Accountant who helps small to medium-sized businesses maximize their profit while limiting their tax liability. We all like that, don't we? She received her Bachelor of Accounting degree back in 2006, after which she worked doing taxes and bookkeeping for small businesses locally. As she said a few minutes ago, we all know how that impacted businesses. So during the pandemic, she started learning how to go virtual, and she's got Keeping It Straight Bookkeeping and Accounting. It's a virtual accounting firm providing services to businesses all over the United States. She's a member of the National Association of Certified Bookkeepers, the American Institute of Public Bookkeepers, QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor, and a U.S. Navy veteran. Thank you, my friend. Did not know that one. When not working with her clients to become the true CEO of their businesses, Barbara enjoys doing crafts such as crochet, knitting, and watching Disney movies with her best friend and companion animal, Princess Leia. Is Princess Leia going to join us today?
She can. She's sitting on my desk. She's making sure I stay calm.
I love it. I love it. So, let's talk about financial health. And one of the things that I've observed is oftentimes paying attention to income, expenses, P&L statements, QuickBooks, tracking is not the most favorite thing for entrepreneurs.
No, not for most people. I love it.
Yeah, of course.
Like I'm weird. Like yeah. I've got 3 heads.
Well, and thank goodness you love it, and thank goodness you have found a way to help us love it as well. So let's talk a little bit. Let's start big picture here. What is financial health?
Financial health is basically, I mean, most people think it's fairly simple, but what it is how is your financial? Are you in debt? Do you use credit cards to pay your bills? Are you, risking your retirement because you're needing money here, there, and other? Financial health is basically, do you have an emergency fund? All of this plays into how financially healthy you are, and your business as well, because your business plays into that. If your business is not supporting itself and paying you as well as having some profit, it's not very healthy, and you need to basically build those muscles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what are some ways, let's dive in, and your depth of knowledge and expertise in all of this is vast and wide. I know we're only be able to touch on a few things today. What would you say is a great starting place for us? Like, what do we need to look out first in order to get into financial health?
The first thing is to actually sit down and see how much money you have coming in and how much money you have going out. Basically, you need to determine what we call net worth is. What is their money flow? And that includes credit cards, because you need to determine that those have to be paid at some point in time. A lot of people think, oh, I'll just put it on a credit card. That's okay. But it's not. You've got to pay that money eventually, and they're tacking interest on.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the first things is what do you owe everybody? And how much money do you have coming in? And then you want to sit down and start figuring, okay, I need a budget. I need to start looking at, do I have more month at the end of my money, or do I have more money at the end of my month?
Right.
And start turning things around. And around Christmas time, that's huge.
A lot build up for sure. And what's interesting is I've done this activity, and I pay attention on an ongoing basis now. Probably I look at it like every 6 months or so. Okay, what are the monthly charges coming into my bank account? Because since everything is digital, it's so easy to sign up for stuff online. And you're like, oh, okay, $14.99. Oh, Paramount Plus, you're paying $9.99 now. But if you do $14.99, then you get Showtime too. Like, all of these little incremental things start to build up, and you may not even realize where you're spending your money.
Absolutely. And that happens with subscriptions to different things. It's only $47 to join this group, and I get to go coaching here. And, this class, it's only $99. I'll take that class. And the thing with this is it adds up, especially like with cable bills, like you were saying, Disney Plus, etc. Oh, I love Disney Plus. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
The whole Star Wars thing on
it. Yeah, that's true. But those types of charges, and every 6 months, usually what you should try and do is evaluate that type of thing every 6 months. But once a month, you should look at your bank statements, your credit cards and everything, and see what you have coming out, because there's many things that just creep in there that you don't realize. Like, you signed up for a free trial. This is the one that everybody gets hit with. I have this free trial, for Evernote. That was one. I had a free trial for Evernote. It was supposed to go 30 days, and then, they would start charging me annually after that, which is another big trap too. So in 30 days, I got a $70 charge, and I went, "Ow, that hurt." I wasn't expecting that. I don't even use Evernote at all. And I'm like, wow, okay, well, I need to make sure to unsubscribe from that. Here comes the next year, and guess what happened? Another $70 charge hit my account because I didn't remember to unsubscribe, and they're just going to keep taking the money.
They will. So I've had that happen to me as well. So here's a process I've put in place that has saved me a lot of money, probably thousands of dollars at this point. Anytime I sign up for a new trial subscription of something, and I do want to try things out, some things I'm going to do, some things not. So what I do is on my Google Calendar, because I schedule everything, when I sign up for the trial, I put a note in my Google Calendar in red, like it's bold and it stands out. It's the only thing I use, red for is really important warnings, right? And I'll put a 2 or 3 days before it's going to switch over to a paid model. I put a notice to me, cancel or keep whatever the thing is that I bought.
That's actually a very, very good idea, because otherwise it gets away from you and then you're just paying for something that you're not using, and making that decision. It also gives you that couple days of, oh, I haven't really tried that out. Let me try it. Let me see.
That's why I do it for a couple days beforehand, because sometimes like I'll see stuff online. I get excited. I'm always looking for new hacks and shortcuts, marketing strategies, ways to grow my business, help my clients. And I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and get this. I'm going to work on this tomorrow. And then I don't. Right? So we need that opportunity to build it in. Awesome. All right, good.
Yeah.
As we're coming on to tax time, do you have some suggestions for us to help get our finances into better health to prepare?
One of the things I would suggest, starting a budget. And in that budget, you should be planning for tax time. We're all entrepreneurs, or most of us are entrepreneurs. And when you file that tax return, you've got that self-employment tax. Well, that's 15% that you're going to have to pay in taxes. And so having that set aside, to make sure that you have that. I love the profit first system, because that also makes sure that I get some sort of profit. But it all runs on a budget, and you need to know what are those expenses and how can I, keep improving, saving up towards taxes. Again, expenses are great because that lowers how much tax you pay, because it lowers your income. But if you can't afford to go buy that $3,000 computer to lower your taxes, I wouldn't suggest putting it on a credit card either.
Right.
You still have to pay it. It's again making those choices of, okay, I know this is going to be a tax benefit, but is it going to be a big enough benefit that I'm going to, make something out of it? Is it going to benefit my bottom line? Is my net worth, is my net value, my profit going to go up because I'm doing this? When I started going virtual, my computer was 10 years old. It was an Apple computer. They last forever, trust me. But some of the software that I needed to start running because of going virtual wouldn't run on a 10-year-old, even Apple computer. So I had to buy a new computer, and it was a shock, because do you realize they're $3,000 now for another Apple computer?
Yeah.
But again, it was one of those, okay, I've got to weigh this against, I know it's going to last 10 years, and I know that I'm going to need to do that. And so it's a budget, and you have to look at things from that perspective and evaluate it. It's not just a standalone, oh, I want a new toy, let me go buy that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making those decisions.
I love how you position that, because rather than spending money, like the way you looked at it, rather than spending money on a new computer, you actually took the time to say, okay, this is a $3,000 investment. How is this investment going to increase my bottom line? And it was, I can get clients all over. I can't load this software that's going to help people. I live in Florida and I want clients in California, right? So like measuring what you purchase against, how does it actually, what's the return on investment I'm going to get out of this, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. The nice thing about that is if you have your books in line in your business, you have somebody that can show you those numbers, or that you understand those numbers, it makes it easier. And then you get to be the CEO to make that decision, rather than, okay, well, let me just guess. Oh, my bank account says I can do it. Because you have
right.
that future.
Your bank account might say it this month, but did you look at what you have coming up next month in terms of income and expenses? And that's why taking the time to pay attention to these is, I want to talk a little bit about the mindset piece related to it, because as the heart-centered accountant, you work with heart-centered entrepreneurs who mostly love to just be in their area of giftedness. And what we're talking about here are things that they don't normally want to pay attention to because it's not their giftedness, they don't find it fun. Like, how can we create that shift? Number one, hire somebody, Barbara's a good person to be on your team to support you in doing those, right? So that's one thing. What are some of the other ways for us to kind of shift ourselves so that we can put more focus on this?
Well, one thing is actually doing a spreadsheet. I mean, I have on my website, it's a 6 easy ways to manage your money, manage your books, excuse me. And it walks through different ways you can electronically keep track of things. And from that, I also have a spreadsheet where literally you just type in quickly what you're spending and what income you have coming in. It gives you an upfront, here you go, this is your net profit currently. And if you just keep a spreadsheet of, okay, these are the bills I have coming out each month, it'll tell you these are my expenses and this is what I have to plan for. And say, yeah, you have $5,000 at the beginning of the month in your account, but you've got $4,000 coming out. Okay, well, I've got $1,000 I can use for things. It's that just, and even a quick spreadsheet will do that. Many times, though, like I said, it's hard for people to do that. And sometimes it's easier just to say, okay, let somebody else do it. And I have people that'll just give me a text real quick. Hey, I want to do this. What does my money look like?
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. So the clients that you work with, you run their profit and loss statements, you analyze them, show them where the money is. And it sounds like you get to be my CFO, my financial officer, making sure that the business is healthy.
Absolutely. Yeah. I step into that position so that you wouldn't have to worry about the money part of it. It's like, as the CEO, you go, okay, I want to do this plan. This is the big plan. What do you think? Okay, well, that's a great plan. And, next month you might have the money to be able to do that if we pinch pennies this month a little bit. Okay, good. Let's implement it next month.
Love it.
Or, whatever they want to do. But it's your decision in the ultimate because you're the CEO. I just tell you where the money is.
Right. And how to find it or create it or how to strategize more about it. Barbara, you mentioned the 6 easy ways to manage your books, and I don't think I got the link correct. I went to put it in the chat. Can you tell us what that link is?
Yeah, certainly. It's www.kisbaa.com/connect.
Connect. All right. I had it all wrong. So KIS, let me go there again. KISBAA.com/connect. Okay. On that page, I see that I can get a free meeting with you, but I don't see that 6 easy ways.
That doesn't have my. Oh, Laura just put it in the chat. It says contact. That's what it is. It's contact. I'm sorry.
Perfect.
Contact. That's all my contact information. I should remember that. Connect is meetings.
I'm on the contact us page and it just says request a free meeting. So if I fill this out, will you send me that form?
Absolutely. I'll send it to you for free.
That way. Let's make sure. I want those 6 easy ways for sure. So let me make sure that I put this in the chat. There you go. And you can go ahead and just fill out that contact form and Barbara will go ahead and send you the 6 easy ways.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about another piece of the puzzle. And that has to do with using your credit cards for a variety of things. And I know, especially in our culture, I was driving down the road a few years ago and I saw a billboard that said, finance your dreams. Get a credit card, get a credit line. Like they're pushing us to go into debt. And I think for me, there's a distinction between leveraging other people's money to invest in my business and just buying things with credit cards. So let's talk about that distinction, because I know several people, somebody listening in may have ran up a whole bunch of debt and you're not sure how to get out of it. Which ones do I pay first? How do I pay it down? Let's talk about this because, having debt, there can be good debt and not so good debt. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Right. Some of the things to look at is there are things like that are investments. Like if you're buying a house, that's a good debt. you're going to come out of it as long as you keep the house in good shape. You've got a you've got something that's going to last for the lifetime. You know, you may grow out of it if it's small or whatever.
Or the computer was a investment in your business, investing in coaching, as long as you're applying what your coaching or the program is saying to do to get that return, right?
Right. Like WPN is a fantastic investment, and it is an investment as long as you show up and actually participate. So I'm in Momentum, and if I don't show up on Mondays and continue to pay for Momentum, that's not an investment. Which is why every Monday I try and show up and I try and make sure I've got something to be coached on. I want to make sure I'm moving my business forward, because that means that Momentum is an investment. If you want to buy a new camera and you're a photographer, that's great, as long as it improves what you already have. It's an investment. It's moving you forward. There's different softwares that are fantastic, like Microsoft Office. You know, everybody. Yes, that's an investment because you need that to communicate with people. But if you buy books or coaching programs or any number of things and then don't use them, like before I got started getting more financially healthy myself, I have probably invested in about 15 different programs, classes, etc., that I have not taken. I can eventually go back and take them, but this was 5-6 years ago, which now
I'm done it. It goes back to, I'm going to sign up for this thing and I'm going to do it, and then I never do it. Right.
And so that then is an investment. That was just me putting money down the toilet and flushing it. And all that did was build up more debt to not help me go anywhere. So you want to make sure that when you're purchasing something, that it is an investment, and that is part of it. And so once you figure out where your money is net worth wise, then you start inching your way towards, okay, I now know I have even $5, and I will tell you $5 makes a big difference, available to either invest or pay off debt. And in that instance, most of the time it's better to pay off the debt, because debt is very high interest. And so you apply it to one credit card. I've got $5 extra a month. I'm going to apply it to this credit card, and I'm going to keep going until that card is paid off. As soon as that card is paid off, don't go, oh, thank you, it's paid off, now I've got more money. No. Now what you do is you take that payment, the whole payment, whether it was $50 or $60 plus that $5, and apply it to the next credit card, thereby almost doubling how fast that card gets paid off. And it goes from being this little tiny snowball to being bigger and bigger and bigger until you get yourself debt free and completely out of debt.
Yeah, this is good. So let's say somebody has, 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 credit cards. And I mean, most of us, or at least I've been schooled in knowing that you want to keep your debt to income, your debt ratio low. So and I think it's like your available credit. So if you've got a 10,000 limit on that card, you want to keep it at only 20 or 30% and pay it off ultimately every month to help your credit score, all of that. Let's say you've gotten yourself in a situation and everybody's at the max or close to the max, and all you're doing is paying, the monthly, the amount they say amount to pay, right? Which doesn't help anything, doesn't really eat into the principal, right? How do you determine, so you got that extra $5 or $20 or $100 that you're going to pay down, how do you pick the card to start applying that extra money to?
There's 2 different schools of thought on that, and this is where I let you make the financial decision yourself. Some people believe put it towards the smallest card. So say you have a card that's $300 at max, and you have a card that's $8,000 at max. Their school of thought is put it to that $300 card, because you're going to pay it off faster and be able to move that payment plus the $5 to the bigger cards as you go. And so you start small and move big. The other school of thought is I'm paying 36% interest on this card and 10% interest on this card. pay the 36% interest off first, because that card is killing me every month with $200 in interest, and I still am not breaking even.
Right.
And so
costing you more to keep that debt.
Right.
So go. Okay.
And so it's up to you which way you want to work it, because everybody looks at things differently. And if your cards are all in the 22 to 26% range as far as interest goes, then probably choose the smaller card and pay it off first. But if you have cards that are that wide of a difference, keep the smaller interest, pay the one off that's killing you every month.
Yeah. And by doing the one with the lowest balance first, I like what you said about now you have that minimum payment as well as that little bit extra. There's more that you can apply. So you're not also feeling as stretched. Plus, there's a sense of accomplishment that happens. I paid that one off. Okay, on to the next. So it can like build our endorphins and let us get
up. Well, no, it's a mindset too, because if you don't see something being paid off, you're going to sit there going, okay, I've been paying on this thing now for 2 years and nothing's paid off. That doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, really good. We're getting ready to come up on the time where all of you get the opportunity to ask some questions, get some clarification. We've put the link in the chat so that you can get the 6 easy ways to manage your books. And for everyone that's with us on the phone, I'll tell you that link again, which is KISBAA.com, which what does that stand for?
Keeping It Straight, Booking and Accounting.
Keeping It Straight, Booking and
Bookkeeping and Accounting.
All right, I like it. KISBAA.com/contact us, and just fill the form out there, and then Barb will go ahead and send you the 6 easy ways to manage your books. Let's just do this. And it's fascinating to me when clients come in or people in our community say, I want to grow my business. Okay, how much are you making right now? I don't know. How much do you want to make? $1 million. Well, how are you going to get from here to there without knowing where you are? Right? So it's really about putting those systems in place and getting the support from people like Barbara to make it easy for you and exciting. Like just, that one tip that we talked about here with paying off that credit card and get that's a win. You're going to be happy and excited. Let's do more. Right? So good. I'm going to get everybody set up so that they can ask questions. And while I do that, I know that you have something coming up called the Debt-Free Challenge. Can you let our audience know what that is? And then I'll put a link in for how they can join that.
Definitely. So I have a thing. It's going to be this Saturday and February 11th. So you get to choose between the two of them. It's called a Debt-Free Challenge. I know after Christmas, everybody overspends at Christmas. But what I do is this is going to be 3 hours. It's very interactive. There's a workbook. We're going to work through it. We're going to make yourself a plan to get out of debt, to get on that better financial health. We're going to start at the beginning of where you are and move you forward and set that plan in motion. The nice thing is the final part of that is you take home a paperwork, and for 5 days, you do an if-then worksheet. And at the end of that, you make an appointment in, and we have a half-hour consult to go over where you are and see what plan, how your plan is going to be working, and make sure that you're ready to move forward. So, it's getting everybody to start in the right direction towards that debt-free.
Love that. So this is a 3-hour workshop that's called the Debt-Free Challenge. And it's 2 days to choose from, this Saturday, January 28th or February 11th. And you can go to, for everybody that's here on the phone, go to tinyurl.com/DF, and those are capitalized. D for debt, F for free, debt free, DF capital challenge, challenge is lowercase. So go to tinyurl.com/DF challenge, the debt free challenge. And let's knock it out. Like, I love that you're
Yeah.
going to give us practical, actionable steps where you are, how to create the plan, how to start doing it, and feel good. So good.
So I was going to say one thing. For the first 7 people that sign up, I have a hard copy of Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover that I'll be sending to them. It's only $27. Normally it's $97 for the 3 hours for the challenge. I am doing a special for Wow Wednesday that is only $27, and the first 7 will get that hard copy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So generosity abounds once again. So thank you to Barbara. And go to tinyurl.com/DF challenge. D is capital, F is capital. All right, let's go ahead. I knew we'd have bunches of people in queue. Olivia Jones.
Good morning. I have a question regarding like refinancing my car.
A little hard to hear you. Can you speak up just a little bit?
Sure. Is that better?
Keep going. I'll tell you.
Yeah. Okay. So my question is, if you're refinancing a car loan to bring down the interest rate, is that a good idea? And then, like, what's the process? Because I'm actually trying to refinance my car loan. I owe maybe another 13 or 14,000 on the car, and then the interest rate is like 10%. So I'm wanting to refinance it to bring that down and then to pay off that loan. So I guess my question is, how can I be strategic in going about doing that? Because if I were to keep the high interest rate, I'm paying more as opposed to, and then longer. Because I'm thinking that the initial time for the loan was like 5 years to pay off it at the higher interest rate. Does that make sense?
Right. When you're refinancing, you want to be careful that you're not, yes, get the lower interest rate, but don't spread the loan out even further to do that.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is, when you do that type of refinancing, you're going to want to take the same payment that you're making right now and still make that payment keep making that same payment. So yes, the interest rate is lower, but more of your money will go to the principal.
Okay.
So you'll pay it off faster.
Okay. I think that makes sense. I don't want it to go out. That's the answer I was looking for. Thank you so much.
Great question. So glad you're with us today, Olivia. Good on you for doing the refinance, like doing things like that, taking a look at your money and how can I, make better use of the money I'm already spending. It's huge. Really good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. And let me give out a couple of the links again. I see some people on Facebook are asking. So to get the 6 easy ways to manage your money, you're going to go to KISBAA.com/contact. And on that page, you'll fill out the form and you'll get the 6 easy ways to sign up for the workshop. And I see several have already signed up. So if you want to be one of the first 7, don't wait until the call is over. Do it now. Go to tinyurl.com/DF challenge. D is capital, F is capital, and then challenge is lowercase. So grab those. Let's go to our next caller, Laura Barker.
Good morning. I am so thrilled to be here this morning with Barbara Johnson. Barbara is truly the heart-centered accountant. I have been working with her in lots of different capacities, really, for a couple of years now, but she is my heart-centered accountant, and I could not be more grateful because of the peace of mind that she gives me. I had another accountant, and I have switched to Barbara, and the reason is the level of communication that she gives is off the chart. It's like she was saying earlier, if you've got hey, can I go buy this? Or whatever question you've got, she's got the way to help you find the best answer for your financial future. And this debt-free challenge, Barbara, I am all in, even though you're already my accountant, right? Because I know the value it's going to give. And folks, for $27, so I put it in the chat, but just think about this. We're going to get a 5-day challenge organized by Barbara, telling us exactly what we need to do. And it's $27, but think of what you will save just because of the action that you are taking, right? It is going to be so much more than 27 that you're saving. I mean, that's an immediate ROI, right? It doesn't get better for business than that. And Barbara, so question wise, I just want to say, like, is it even a question? I don't know. So I love the systems you use, that you work with me on. And I wondered, like, how, if you could maybe just share how those systems help you with your clients.
Okay. Well, I mean, QuickBooks Online helps so that both of us can get into QuickBooks at the same time. So if my client wanted to run in and run their own report, and I make sure they know how to do that, they can. But I also use there's a software called Dex where you don't have to worry about, okay, I've got all these receipts, now I've got to get them to my accountant, et cetera. You take your phone out, and you take a picture, and it comes to me, and I can categorize it because literally it's all there, all nice and easy.
And I love that.
And then I have
yeah,
it's an amazing system.
Yeah.
And then I have it's a secure Google through Business Plus. So it's encrypted so that you get your financial reports. It's nice and easy to access things, and it's all secure. Then, of course, I have Smart Vault, which is encrypted for doing tax returns, so you can upload things. It's all nice and simple, and Asana keeps me on track so that I don't lose track of one of my clients out in the boondocks of, oh, I was supposed to do that how long ago? It keeps me up to date. I get these little daily notifications of, okay, you need to do these different things. And I just, like I said, texting and texting is one of the best things in emails because I have clients that just reach out and go, hey, I have questions. I have answers.
Yeah, that's right. And, you also meet with your clients, on a regular basis, right? Like my previous accountant didn't do like any of that stuff, folks. I mean, I don't even know now that I think about it. Now that I know what you do, I'm like, what were they doing? Anyway, so that's all. I'll wrap up with that. But thank you for everything that you're doing because it's so helpful to small business owners, entrepreneurs, and people like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laura, thank you for all you shared and how working with Barbara is. And as I was listening to you, the distinction between maybe your previous accountant, as you described it, is they were just organizing what you were and documenting, and filing for what you had been doing. What you get with Barbara is guidance on what areas you want to be looking at to maximize profit and decrease tax liabilities. So it's a different lens, right? It's instead of just performing a function, she's really in there to guide you in looking at the right factors so you can make informed decisions. That's what I heard. So
I
like to do that. And I do meet with my clients at least at a minimum, it's one monthly.
Yeah. And that's exactly right, Nancy, what you just said. And so I'm just thrilled and love it all.
Awesome. We love you. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead. Thank you, Laura. And I'm going to take a question from the chat comments now. Right before I do that, I want to remind everyone, go to tinyurl.com/DF challenge, D and F or capitalized DF challenge, and register for the debt-free challenge with Barbara. You can do it this Saturday, the 28th or February 11th. It's only $27. Several people have already jumped in. I don't know if the first 7 are gone, but jump in now. And when you pay attention, I'm going to quote Deborah Morrison here. When you pay attention to your money, it pays you back. Like, just do it. Just do it. All right. Here's a question. Sometimes debt can be overwhelming, 20 to 25,000 on 3 or 4 different cards after having a difficult time can be really overwhelming. So how do you encourage someone, with 75,000 in credit card debt and it's only on 2 to 3 cards? It can feel impossible to pay off one first and do the minimums like that. That's a big chunk. Like, how do you manage through that?
The nice thing is you still have to set small goals. You don't say, oh, I'm going to pay off 25,000 all at once. No, what you do is okay, every month you look, you sit down and you go, okay, I'm paying off this amount. I'm going to keep going. And you look at that and you set goals of, okay, by the end of 2 months, I'm going to have $1,000 paid off on this card. The principal, not, the interest is already covered and you're still going to make that extra. You make those small steps. You have to set yourself and you celebrate them. That is the biggest thing. You set a goal and you celebrate it. It can't, you can't say, oh, on $25,000, I'm going to celebrate it. No, I have paid off $5,000 of this card. I'm going to go celebrate. Yay. And you celebrate in ways that are fun for you. For me, that would be going with my granddaughter to Disney or something. We're just going to take the day off and go celebrate because it's a big deal, and you set those goals and you make sure you celebrate each one of them. And that keeps you encouraged. Again, mindset is huge when you're trying to get out of debt. It really is. You have to, you have to believe you can overcome it and that, I'm going to beat this, and just keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And again, so if you've got 3 cards that are all really, big and, high balances on them, choose one of them, maybe the one with the highest interest rate, and just commit. This is the one that's going to get paid off. My first benchmark is 1,000. My second benchmark is 5,000. My third is 10,000, and just get it down, 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 down. Really great advice.
And that is the way to do it.
Oh, so good. So good. All right. Let's go to our next caller, Mary Jane Charles.
Hi. I don't even know where to begin. Barbara and I started doing business a few months ago, and it boils down to I am a reformed bookkeeper. When I decided to not do bookkeeping, somehow or other, I included myself in that. And that is just never healthy. That's not the way to go. And I was like a sailor on leave with all the goodies. Oh, I can do those 27, 32, all the yikes, there weren't enough hours. Roll back the tape. And I obeyed the rules. My cards are under 15%. I'll leave the rest to your imagination. They all come due. I've altered dates, etc. I know all the tricks. I'm in debt. So I now have another bookkeeper looking at everything. Like a good doctor, you can't tend yourself. You need help. And boy, was that a load lifted from my shoulders. First of all, capability, astute, all of that, and the communication, we matched immediately. I think I've been very diligent in my sendings. So don't think you can do it all. And while we were doing this, I'm like, okay, it's time for Fiverr. I'm peeling off all my graphic arts and shoving it that way. So you can pay for things and have someone else do it. And I'm still learning you cannot do it all, but bookkeeping is the top of the list. Give it to a pro. Just let them do it. They, all of the Barbaras that we're looking at, all the things you do for all of us. Thank you.
So good. I love that, Mary Jane. And, I love the analogy, a doctor needs a doctor. It's like, don't try to do this all yourself. Really good. All right. Good stuff. Again, you want to go to tinyurl.com/DF challenge, capital D, capital F challenge. And I just put the link in the chat again for you so you can sign up. I know I'm saying I signed up. I hope I get the book. I hope I get the book. So we'll see how that all goes. All right, let's go next to Barbara Ellison. Good morning. Your line is open.
Oh, there we go. Hi. Okay, Barbara, you know what? Just what you were talking about. As I was sitting here, I said, I'm just going to go look at my bank account. Oh, brother. 3 subscriptions in a row that I totally forgot and went, why am I paying for this? I'm not using it.
All right. So did you sign up for the class? Because she just got you way more than $27.
There you go.
Know, I'm like, what, Barbara? It was just such a timely reminder. So just keep up the good work. So it was
right.
I couldn't believe it.
And that's the thing, Barbara, right? Like,
and the thing is if you hadn't said it, I wouldn't have known. I'll tell on myself, I probably would not have noticed it until next month.
Right.
Or the month after that.
Yeah.
But it was just timely. I said, I'm going to just go look at my account, and oh, brother, 3 of them in a row.
Yeah. And then you got to make sure that you get online and
so guess what I'm doing today?
Canceling them. Well, and here's the other trap I have fallen into. Oh, it just hit. I have 30 days. I'm really going to use it this time.
Yeah. No, I'm canceling them because I haven't used them. So yeah.
All right,
so
good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, good. All right, get yourself to tinyurl.com/DF challenge. Get in, just like Barbara Ellison. 3 subscriptions. How much money is that going to save her? Not just this month, but over time. This is what Barbara Johnson brings you, is that guidance to get out of debt, to take the money that you may have been paying and put it to good use. Like, don't we all want to have money for investing? Don't we all want to have money for our retirement? Like, this woman shows you how to make all that happen, and the practical drilling it down into your day-to-day life and business. So sign up. Awesome. Let's check in. Any other questions? We have a few more minutes. If you have a question or a comment, something you'd like to ask or add to the conversation today, go ahead and hit *6 on your phone, or you can post your question in the chat. I do see someone asking for the spreadsheet again. So when I get the 6 easy ways to manage your books, which is free. When I get that, do I get this spreadsheet you were talking about also?
Well, what usually happens, and I'm going to tell on myself a little bit, I have Keep. And once you download that spreadsheet, you usually get an email a couple of days later saying, now that you've had the brochure, would you like to get the spreadsheet to work with it?
Yes.
It costs $7 and here's the link. And so that way you can just click the link and get the spreadsheet to use.
Like a little proud mama. Grasshopper, you do so good.
Yeah, that is something you taught me in Momentum. I learned.
Yeah, and it's simple. Get the free thing, and then give the person, if they're interested, the opportunity to keep working with you. That's so good. So for that, you're going to go to kisbaa.com/contact-us. All right, we got a couple more people in queue before we wrap up today. Let's go to Dr. Roz.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I had to say, Miss Barb, you are loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. Your sister over here is a hot chocolate fudge sundae mess, so I look forward to Saturday.
Definitely.
But I'll write you a back message as a declaration of my cleanup. And what I'm praying that my husband will be available, because we want to be able to do this as a unit and be able to close out well in this season of our life and not have fear or worry or trauma as it pertains to money, knowing that money is a tool. We don't have to chase it, but it will come chasing us. And I feel like it did this morning for the way Nancy had you allocated for today, January 25th, because in my devotion, it was like the matters of the heart in Henry Blackaby and Richard Blackaby's book. And guess what it talked about? Finances. I love you, sister. Thank you so much. I have to send you a copy of that, Nancy. I'll put it on your back channel so you can read it. But thank you so. Oh, no, I can put it in a group. I'll put it in a group. I'll take a picture of it and put it in the group, y'all. Can't make this stuff up. Thank you so much. I yield the mic, but no, I always have a voice.
Love that. Thank you, Dr. Mouse, for pouring into pouring into yourself today. Well done. All right. Once again, go to tinyurl.com/DF challenge and get yourself debt free and use your money. Work with Barbara. Find out how to go ahead and build your wealth, how to maximize your profit, minimize your tax liability. Barbara Johnson, anything you want to share before we wrap up today?
Well, it's going to be great. Oh, I do have one other thing. I'm actually going to be in a book, a compilation book that's releasing February 23rd. It's going to be, there's a summit. I don't even have the link, so I'm very unprepared. I'm sorry. But there's going to be a summit for the book release on February 23rd. It's called the Entrepreneur's Toolkit. There's 15 authors offering, success tips. I'm of course in there with the bookkeeping side of things. And if you attend the summit, there's a ton of free stuff, including you can get the book for free on that day, February 23rd. So I was just excited. It was like, yay.
Very exciting. Well, we'll make sure we follow you and connect with you so we can get that book when it comes out. I love it. I love it. Thank you for being with us and sharing your heart-centered accounting practices so that we can all flourish in our businesses. I appreciate you very much, my friend.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. This has been great.
Yeah, good. All right. We'll see you again next week for another wild, wonderful Wow Wednesday. Until then, get out there, make a difference, be the change, be the one for someone else. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you. Bye, Barbara.
Bye-bye.